joining us from Germany, but you're from the
From
UK,
Jim.
joining us from Germany.
Yeah.
And so I came across Anna on Instagram because she is doing something new every day. And so I was like, ooh, that's my kind of lady. And so I started tracking what she was doing. And she was kind enough and great enough. She is using the 365 First Challenge hashtag. So if you want to know all the things that Anna has done, well, obviously we're going to talk a lot about them today, right now, but go find her on Instagram. It's a new thing. What is your Instagram handle?
New day, new thing. I
New
think it's
day.
new day underscore new thing.
Yeah. So go find her or go search the 365 First Challenge hashtag. And then you can continue to see, because we're only at the beginning of the year and she's doing something new every day. So she has many more to go. So go find her. But Anna, to tell us, because you told me that you wrote that you were involved in quite a few surgeries and you have to go and go through preventive chemotherapy, which I can only imagine what that was like, and that must have been the first time in of itself. And so
Yeah.
you wanted a fresh start in 2020. So tell me the background on what inspired you to just go ahead and do something new every day.
Okay. So yeah, like you say, last year I had a lot of medical stuff, chemotherapy, which lasted pretty much the whole year through one thing and another. And it just got to a point where my days were different, but not in a good way. Not anything that I enjoyed doing really. The enjoyment was very low scale, so it was like sitting on the sofa for a little bit, or reading a book for 10 minutes because your concentration goes crazy. Excuse me. So I decided come January this year was going to be my year, but in a adventure every day. I experienced, like I say, very small things last year. This year I wanted to do something exciting and new, whether big or small, every single day for the whole year. So
Yeah, and
I find
really,
myself here.
which is awesome, and really like embrace life. It sounds like you got
Exactly.
denied living life last year because of the surgery and the chemotherapy and feeling so horrible that it's like, okay, I'm going to turn the page and I'm going to fully embrace and treasure life and see what it has to offer. And that's such a
Absolutely.
great thing. That's so wonderful. So how did you start making your list? How did you go about coming up with what you were going to try and do?
Well, my husband, once my chemotherapy was finished, my husband and I went on holiday. We went on a beach with the cocktails, the sun, everything I've been dreaming of. And I sat there and we discussed it. And this was maybe November, December last year sometime. And just while we were, in between cocktails and all you can eat buffets, we we made a list, and some of it was big things, some were small things. One of the big things I remember we put on the list was for me to swim in the Pacific. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but yeah, other small things like try and tear an apple in half with my hands or something, um, because I realized I needed the balance to make it interesting. It's quite easy to do the small things, but also having the big things on the list make it a bit more exciting to plan for and to organize. And yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So such a great and good mixture. And that's really what the 365 First Challenge is all about. That's what the app helps you do,
Yeah.
because it makes you realize a lot of little things that you've never done before, never even considered and thought of. And then there are big things that you might, that help you look forward to it. And just the planning process is exciting and you can really, work up to what it's going to be like. And yeah, that's like discovering life, and then things come out of nowhere. So let's talk about what's been the most fun so far that you've tried.
Okay, one of the most fun I think was learning to juggle. I had it on my list as like a little aside. Okay, this is something new, but I absolutely loved it. I'm still not very good, but I pick up my juggling balls most days and just have a little play with them. And yeah, it's so much fun.
Oh, that's great. So, and that's a
Well,
perfect example that some of the things you'll try and you'll never do again, some of the things you'll try, you'll like, and you'll do more of. And I'm
yeah,
sure so that's improved your reflex. Like, I don't want
yeah,
to
yeah.
put words in your mouth, but what's like, how has that improved like you to do that?
Oh, I don't know if it's improved me so much, but um, for sure in that way, I did not expect I'd be able to juggle. It involves a lot of hand and eye coordination and this sort of thing, but really the biggest thing was that step, that first step to be able to do it. That was the biggest hurdle, really, and the biggest thing I've got from it is that
Yeah.
I could do it.
Well, so I guarantee you another thing that is happening, especially since you're doing it every day, is that you are it's out, it's reprogramming your mind to be able to do it. And you're getting better hand and eye coordination for it, which means probably going to improve your reflexes. And it's having other impact and that's the beauty that you probably don't even realize it's happening. And then
Yeah.
someday you'll catch something that's falling really fast and be like, wow, I am ninja. I have ninja skills now. So
Thank
it's
you.
I was I so there's one of the entertainers here from Las Vegas. Every Tuesday he does a class on how to learn to juggle. And that we were talking about that before we started taping, that I've gotten so busy doing other things that I'm not getting to do first time. It's just killing me. And I really want to take his class because I think that's one to achieve that must be really awesome. Do you count like how many times you actually like get to do it? Are you at the point where you keep it in the air for a little while and
No, no. I'm very happy if I manage to keep three balls in the air for longer than 2 seconds. So that's really my body.
that's your yeah. All right, well, keep working on it and I'll keep improving. Yeah. He talked about like so his thing was like ball up some socks to do it. Cause I was thinking like, oh, I don't even have, balls to do it. And he actually said it's better to do it with socks because then it falls on the ground and doesn't roll away. So you don't spend half the time chasing the balls.
Right.
You got the socks. So I'm totally trying that. Okay. So which one has been the most surprising? Like the most like,
Okay.
oh, I didn't think that was gonna be like that.
So apart from the juggling, which was also very surprising, I think way back in January, I took a sleeper train to Budapest, and I was meeting my sister and my mum there, and I've been on a sleeper train before, but with my husband. This time I was going solo, and I was going to share a cabin with a stranger. Now, at first, I thought it was going to be a same-sex cabin, so I was quite surprised when a man walked in. Um, and aside from the first, oh, I'm not sure how this is going to go, I actually had such an amazing time and an amazing conversation with this guy who was so interesting. He was a yoga teacher. He had so much knowledge, political knowledge. I would never have had that connection with anybody otherwise if I hadn't have taken that train. And yeah, that's one that'll definitely stay with me.
Oh, that's an awesome story. Yeah, meeting new people is always it's always a risk, not really a huge risk, but it can be very surprising, very disappointing, or very something of
Yeah.
another. So that's awesome. Okay, so what about like what's been the most disappointing? Like,
Oh gosh. Oh, I think I've had quite recently. I've had a span of just ones I have not enjoyed at all. I played Minecraft for the first time the other day. Also, the last time I will not be touching that again. One of my worst ones though was knitting a bookmark. That was just a disaster.
really, why?
Absolutely. Just I hated it so much. I can crochet. I crochet quite a lot. I'm quite quick and I can do it quite easily. But knitting a bookmark, oh my word, that took me 3 or 4 hours and it looks terrible.
So is it because you thought it was going to be easier and it ended up being more difficult than you expected?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I thought, oh, okay, I've got this experience, it will be okay. No, it was, I really hated it.
Oh, interesting. Well, I have to say, like, so I recorded an episode. Yesterday was my 50th podcast episode,
Oh,
and
wow,
I
well
did it
done.
on my, thank you. I did it on my first time doing starting a campfire. And I have to say, it was one of those experiences where I underestimated how difficult that could be. And I didn't have the proper equipment, and I ended up with a lot of smoke. And when people say, where there's smoke, there's fire, I'm like, that is total crap. Sometimes there's just plain old smoke with no fire, right? So, yeah. So my first attempt at starting a campfire did not I was not successful. So then I went out and bought a whole lot of, a gas starter and all kind of other stuff. And then I was successful. And I was,
Oh, that's great you tried again though.
yeah, well, I was on the road camping. So it was just like, it was a necessity that I would figure this out. But yeah, if you told me to start a campfire, which is truly just the basics, that's not happening. I need some cheater items to get it done. Yeah. So was it okay? So let's dig more into this. Were
No.
there, were there more experiences where you thought that it was going to be easy and it turned out to be a lot harder than you thought?
Um, that were easy. No, I can't really think of any at the moment. Um, One thing that I thought might be more fun, but was not, was the Rubik's Cube I tried the last week. I'm not ashamed to admit I turned the air blue trying trying the Rubik's Cube, even though I was following a YouTube how to do it. Oh my the video was 20 minutes. 3.5 hours later, I was having a full-on meltdown. Why can't I do this? But I was so close that I was determined to finish it. So yeah, my husband came and helped me, and I I got there in the end. But I cannot even look at the Rubik's Cube ever since.
Well, I still give you props because you're not quitting. You're like, okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
see it
stubborn.
through the end. So do you consider that's not quite a first time unless you see it through, you do it all the way?
No, no, no. As long as I try it, that's my qualifier. As long as I try it, then it's still something new. It's still a new experience just trying it.
Yeah. So how is it changing you? Like how is the experience impacting you so far?
So far, it's definitely making me more open to things through the day, rather than just head down, going about my normal business. I'm more head open. Okay, look, this is what's this over here? I've never seen this before. Let's go check it out. I actually did that a few weeks ago where I was going to go to a museum exhibit. It was full. Walked through the city, found a self-driving bus that you could go and try out. Okay, new thing happened. Great. It's something I would never normally have thought of. But it just opens my eyes to so many more opportunities through the day, even while we're at home. Definitely, it's
Um,
yeah, I can see a lot more things to do, and that's a
ah,
nice feeling.
yeah, I love it. Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people. Like one of the benefits of adding new experiences and first time is in your life is just that you become a lot more open-minded, you become a lot more spontaneous, and you notice things. Like you become more aware of your
Yeah,
surrounding and what's available. And it just and that's why like it gives you a greater appreciation for life because you're finally
absolutely.
seeing those things that you weren't seeing because you weren't doing that. So that's incredible. um
Yeah.
yeah,
And
okay.
you embrace the yes. I think you say yes to so much more things, so many more things, just to get that experience.
Yeah, so how many things is your husband joining you in on?
Maybe I don't know. Actually, most of them I do solo, unless I don't know, unless it's a group thing. I'm trying to think of the last one he joined me on. Nothing's springing to mind immediately. But yeah, it's mainly a solo thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, we need to talk like at the end of the year because I'm gonna have so many more questions
Right.
of, yeah, of finding out just the impact, like how much it is changing you. And because I guarantee you, like you probably, again, things you probably don't even realize, but you'll eventually hit you. You'll start learning things so much faster and
Yeah.
yeah, or have you already encountered that things kind of start coming a little bit more naturally and you don't know why. You're just like, huh, just
Maybe I'm reading more and taking it in a bit more. I think what I do is quite varied. So one day it'll be food related, one day it'll be Rubik's Cube nonsense, and one day I'll be doing an exercise class or something like this. So in terms of connection and skills, there's probably not so many that I notice at the moment. Like you
yeah.
say, it's very early. We're only a quarter of the way through the year, right? There's still a long way to go. But I think in terms of seeing something and taking it in and understanding it, it's definitely becoming a bit more easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, because the brain doesn't know the difference. Like it's not separating things that way. It just knows you're learning and it
Right.
needs to, it needs to adapt to being in a situation where learning occurs and learning is being asked of it every day. So it better get better at it to save energy, to be more efficient. And that's what like people don't realize. The brain is out to adapt to what you're stress, like the good stress, what you're putting it
Right.
under. And that's what makes you more efficient at everything that you do, even though it's not related. So this is just so really awesome. So what are some of the first you have coming up?
So at the weekend, I'm going to try and make a virtual reality game on the Nintendo Switch. And there's this function, I don't know that, but we'll try and do that. And next week, I am going to try and find some laughter yoga to do because that sounds quite fun. And also, I'm going to try and watch a ballet live stream from one of the theatres in England. They'll be
Oh,
doing
very nice.
so
Yeah,
a bit of culture and a bit of yeah, a bit of fun too.
that's good. Mixing it up, keeping it
Right.
fresh. How is the current situation with the quarantine and not being able to go out? Like, how has that impacted you being able to do these things?
It's definitely making me a lot more creative and flexible. Before this, I have a list of things I'd like to do. Go to the ballet was on there, for example. Obviously now that's not going to happen until I don't know when, so I have to be a bit more flexible and okay, watch a live stream of ballet or something. Um, but also there are so many things you can actually do at home, really silly things. Like one great thing I did very early on was try to put my trousers on without using my hands. And if you haven't tried it, please try it because it was so funny, so funny. I could not do it, but I was laughing so much trying it. It was really fun. Uh, oh, okay. And um, but there are so many things you can do inside, whether it's baking, crafting. There's loads of resources online at the moment from museums, from fitness classes. Just you can learn so many things online. And actually, I'm finding myself so busy trying to absorb it all and trying to take advantage of it all that I feel like I'm busier now than I was before.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Because it got you more focus, and yeah, so it's
Right.
like just endless. There are so many things. I mean, we were talking about this, and if people are staying at home and you're bored, it is completely on you because there
Right.
are endless possibilities, and you have to use your imagination and be creative. Be willing to be silly with the people that you're quarantined with, that you're sharing the house with. So instead of you read where people are arguing, they're having a tough time together, like shift into a different mindset. Seriously. get creative, get silly, have fun, like
Yeah.
let go. And um, this is hopefully once in a lifetime, unprecedented occurrence that's happening around the world. And you have an opportunity to just absolutely make the best of it. So, kudos for what you're doing and spreading your message. And I really do want people to go and follow you on Instagram so that
Thank
they
you.
get inspired to do more of that. And I understand that some people are really truly feeling stress, but you're choosing that. You can choose to step out and have this experience be differently. All right, so let's play some first time lightning round. Hoping I can find some things that you've never done before, get some more
Okay.
stories from you, or help you add some things to your list. Okay,
Yeah.
so the way it works is similar to the way that the app works. If it's something that you've done before, you would say up, you would swipe up on it. If it's something that you've never done, not interested in doing, then it's left. And it's something that you've never done, would like to do, then it's right, and something that you would add to your list. Okay.
Okay.
For this one, you would need the husband. So ride a tandem bike.
Oh, I would totally do that. Right.
Right. All right. Go snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing. I don't know what that is, but if it involves the snow, I like the snow. So yeah, well, that's right.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So snowshoeing, which the snowshoes have moved up, they're much more efficient than it used to be, like back in the day when I first went snowshoeing. But it's so you wear snowshoes, which really just expands the surface of your feet so
Oh,
that you
okay.
don't step into the snow. So it's very easy. So you can go up in the mountains and be hiking, but you're snowshoeing, so you don't
Yeah,
sink into
that
the
sounds fun.
snow.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah. All right. Go antique shopping.
I No, I don't think I've done that, but I will do
We're
that.
going right on antique shopping. Okay. Pole fitness dancing. So pole dancing.
I would like to try that. I almost did. Not this year though, a few years ago with a good friend, but for some reason it fell through and never happened. So yeah, I'd give that a try.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been telling people though, if you easily get dizzy, control
Oh,
just how much spinning around the pole you do, because I ended up getting sick because I do get dizzy easily. So unfortunately, while I loved it and I would love to do it again, it's not something I will do again.
okay, good tip.
All right. Make kombucha.
Oh, I would try that. I like kombucha, but I've never tried anything like fermenting anything. So
At home.
is it a
Yeah.
SCOBY or something it's called with kombucha?
Was it what? What?
A SCOBY or this I don't know.
No, yeah, but you can buy kits and try to make it at home. Grow a garden.
Oh, this is right. I
Right.
would I would absolutely love to do this. This is one of my biggest dreams to have a garden, more specifically vegetable garden. I'd love
Yeah.
to grow my own vegetables.
Awesome. Volunteer at animal shelter.
Oh, I've done this.
Up.
Yeah.
How was that? When was your first time? What was your first time volunteering at a shelter like?
It was very nice. It was here in Germany. I went with a few friends and we used to walk the dogs. So we'd be which was really nice. You would see the dogs would really enjoy just a little social interaction and a little walk around the neighborhood. And I love dogs, but our place is too small to have one, so it was great for me as well. Yeah,
Oh,
I would
awesome.
happily do that again.
Okay. Use a water pick. So it's like the water flossing
Oh, okay,
tool.
like flossing thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by that. We're going right.
They're awesome. I got one and I love it. Although I
Get
will
it all down your top.
I will say so because you hit the power and then it starts squishing. And I mean, it's got some good water pressure. And sometimes you think you're turning it off or you're not turning it up fast enough and you got water spraying all over the bathroom. So it gets a little tricky. Okay. Play shuffleboard.
Oh, Sure, maybe try that. I've not gone left on any of them yet.
Yeah, which is good. Well, I'm glad I am helping you add things to your list.
Yeah.
Uh, take a mud bath.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun that I'm ashamed I've not tried it yet. Definitely go right on
All
that.
right. All right. Well, that is the first time lightning round. Thank you for playing along.
Yeah, thanks for letting me play.
Yeah. All right. So the final question is the prompt of the day. What was your first car, or what's the story around your first car?
So the story is I have never had a first car because I cannot drive.
Alrighty then.
I I it's very unusual. I think here in Germany, I'm seen as quite unusual because I don't drive. My husband also doesn't drive, but we've been very fortunate to live in places where we've got good public transport and things like this. When we lived in the UK, the money was a priority towards saving for a house rather than learning to drive. And then when we came over here, I'm in Frankfurt. It's got great public transport. It's
It's
never
never been a
really been a
problem.
problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that neither of you drive. Wow, that's great. So I'm curious, how did you end up from the UK to Germany, and what do you guys do in Germany?
So my husband got a job over here, so I followed, and yeah, we've been here a few years now, nearly 8 years this year.
Oh, wow. How's your German?
Pretty good. Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's not so bad. Not so bad.
it's not an easy language to learn.
No, because you lived in Germany for a little bit, right?
Yeah, and admittedly, I completely failed to learn any German. But then, which, well, I guess it's not an excuse, but it is. I worked with Americans all day long, and
Okay.
I my first time there really did not interact with a lot of Germans. My second time, I did, and I picked up more because I was actually interacting with Germans. But so for sure, if I went back and got to immerse myself, I would. But it's definitely a tough language. And what what bugged me is that so one of the guys that I met, he's like, well, you should learn it, but at the same time, don't bother, because if you learn this dialect, you're still not gonna be able to talk to these other people or these people or these people. And I'm like, well, that's very discouraging that within just the country, you guys have so many different dialects going around. Yeah. So,
And then Swiss German is a whole other thing. Austrian German, again, are totally different. Yeah, I my German's passable, so
yeah. So
not me this bad. So.
after he told me that, I'm like, oh, well, forget it. I'm not even gonna bother. So, just lazy about that one, I guess. All right. Well, again, thank you for being on. This was such a blast. And I do want to catch back up, and we're gonna stay in touch on Instagram. But
Sure.
towards the end of the year, let's do this again. So I find out
Yeah, definitely.
more of how it's impacted and changed your life, and maybe I can get your story out as a billboard type for all of those to do this 365 first challenge. Because there's really not that many people that you're really embracing doing new things. So not yet. I'm trying to change that. So it's
We'll
great.
get there.
Yeah. It's great to find others. All right. Again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on, Anna. It's been so much fun.